But we want to give a special thanks to Jaleh and her entire team here from AIR, who have done absolute yeoman duty and have been working tirelessly for months and months and months to bring off what has been a very smooth and, from a participant's point of view, very successful conference. Many thanks. Would you want to add to the thank yous? I think you have a list as well.
Stephen and I would like to thank our PIAAC national contractors, WestET, ETS, and AIR. So you enjoy all the rich and powerful data here today because the tireless work they do from the data collection, from data cleaning, and produce the powerful products. So we should give them a big applause. Thank you.
Very good. So without further ado, we're going to start. Why don't you begin by giving them a quick overview? And I'll step in after.
Okay. All right. So let me give you a quick overview of our presentation. We'll talk about PIAAC National Data Collection, the products since cycle 1, upcoming PIAAC 2017 products, the small area estimates, PIAAC cycle 2. So as you know that PIAAC data collection is conducted every 10 years. Yesterday, William from OECD and Erwin from ETS talked about the PIAAC products, activities, and plans at the international level. But NCS collect 3 cycles of data. The first one in 2011 and 12, probably, and then follow that, we did 2 national supplement studies, household, focus on unemployed, young, and older people, and also incarcerated adults. So in 2015, we have education and skills online in both English and Spanish. So in 2017, which we just finished the data collection and the cleaning, so we had another 3,660 adults, household adults, participated in the study. So basically that is a 5-year update trend study. So this is a cycle 1. So between the 3 cycles with over 12,000 cases, we are able to do the small area estimates, which produce the adult skills at the state and the county level. And then we are going to do the cycle 2 study. We'll focus on, again, the national household data and also promote the state participation. So the PIAAC products since cycle 1. So as you know that we always produce the first look reports in each of the cycles. So you're familiar with the first look, 2012, 14, combined 12 and 14 study, and also the incarcerated report. We also produce the technical report in each of the cycles. I'm not going to talk in detail because you're all very, very familiar with this. And we also produce the shorter publications. Just Saida and Emily talk about their digital study. That's one of them as the data points. And we are expecting the next data points on adult literacy in the United States, which will be released in spring of 2019. And we also produce public and restricted use data files. Finally, we update the International Data Explorer. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with the IDE. We always talk about it. And they also update the distance learning dataset training. that exciting things coming now. What is the products in 2017? For the first time, we are going to produce the web report. So PIAAC 2017 data report will be released in September of 2019. We'll focus on the trends of the US adult skills. We'll also produce mapping website, the PIAAC small area estimate mapping website that will be released in February of 2020. That will provide modeled estimates of adult skills, literacy and numeracy at the state and county level. Again, we are going to produce a data set. 2 data sets will be coming. One is the PIAAC 2017 public and restricted data use files, and also the combined restricted data file for the researchers. 2 technical reports, small area estimate methodology report, and also the PIAAC 2012, 14, 17 technical report. Finally, we'll update International Data Explorer. Now is the time for Stephen to provide detail about small area estimates.
Thank you, Holly. So having just gotten a nice overview of where we are now, I want to give you a little insight of what we're going to be trying to do with the small area estimations. And maybe we can get feedback from you afterwards. But basically, what we've designed is a way to produce internationally comparable, taking the PIAAC data that we have and putting it onto a county level or state level through what is basically a modeled method. So we have, when we know any of the scores, we don't have any individual's actual score. We have an estimate for an individual based on plausible values. Everything that we've produced are estimates, but we speak of them as direct estimates. What we're going to be doing with the small area estimation is a methodology that relies on what's called indirect estimation. And basically we're taking information that we have that comes from another source, principally the American Community Survey, which is a census-based survey, census-based data set, and we're using that to make predictions about or not make predictions. We're using it to know about the particular characteristics of the county or the state in general, and using those to be able to model from the data that we have to what we believe it will be. So what we're doing is taking auxiliary information from ACS to produce these, what we believe are reliable indirect estimates. But again, these are modeled estimates. And so we don't actually know for some counties, because with a sample of about 13,000, we miss some counties in the United States. However, we've been able to classify all the counties into similar categories. And on the basis of that, we conducted sampling in 2017 that allowed us to make sure that we were able to sample in all the different types of counties across the United States. And on that basis, and thanks to ACS, we were able to do the modeling that ETS and WestStat together have been able to put together for a small area estimation. The development process has been underway. We hopefully will have everything together over the next year and being able to come out with our results, which are what you want to see on our website in 2020. What I want to really get to is giving you a little peek of what we're planning. This is all in the beta stage, the development stage, the draft format, but we're thinking of something that looks like this. It would allow you to go to the NCS website, to go to a page for small area estimation, and to pull up a map. And by clicking on the map, you would be able to highlight a state or a county, and by pulling up your chosen county or state, you'll be able to get detailed information. And this is what we're modeling as our dashboard right now. which this is an example that would be coming from, if you notice the state was Colorado. In Colorado, if you had Park County, this is all fictitious mock data, not based on anything real, just to make sure everyone is aware. This is modeling the layout of how we're trying to do it. And in particular, using this to explain what we're actually doing in the small area estimation, which is that for each county within each state, we're estimating 8 different outcome levels, 8 different outcomes, which is to say, we'll get a percentage for the adults in the county who are at level 1 or below, so that's our low performers. We'll get a percentage who are at level 2, and we'll get a percentage of the adults who are at level 3 or above. That will be combined with information about an average. What is the average literacy? What is the average numeracy score in that county? So as you hear me speak, you can hear that this is not just literacy. For those who remember, NCS has produced small area estimates for literacy from its previous national adult literacy study. But we are now moving beyond that to have both a literacy and a numeracy estimate. And indeed, Westat spent a tremendous amount of time re-examining the modeling method, the small area estimation, and has been able to build in lots of advances that have occurred in over the last decade in terms of better small area estimation. And that is what this is based on. So we're no longer just getting an average score. We're no longer just getting a sort of binary below and above. But with these 8 pieces, for where there's 4 for literacy, 4 for numeracy, we hope that you'll be able to have a pretty good estimate for what the workforce human capital skills are. However, as I emphasized, these are indirect estimates and that they're based on a model. So while you'll have the sort of information that you can compare county to state level here, you will also have information about the precision. So in the comparison here that I just kind of skipped over quickly, you can see what the state percentages are for at or below level 1, at level 2, at level 3 or above, and then you'll have information of whether your literacy is above the state average or below the state average. But you'll also have information about the precision of the estimate, which is to say, not all estimates are alike, depending on whether the estimate is based on a very small rural county or whether the estimate is based on New York City, will determine quite a bit to the degree of accuracy, if you will, to use a more layman's term. And that if you were to go back and see the map here that we have, we're going to have this both as you can see it kind of, this is a static version of it, but we'll also have it as a heat map, or this is the idea that we're playing with, because we want to show the levels of precision. So it would fluctuate and vary so that the different colorations will show you the degree of not just accuracy, but the different possible estimates that could be for each of the counties. So counties that would stay relatively the same color, stay static, or so to speak, have the same color, have a high degree of precision. Those that fluctuate or flash would have a wide degree of variation due to the fact that there are, I think, 1,000 different estimates that have been modeled here that are underlying this map. And so they'll have information in multiple ways to remind users that not all estimates are equally reliable. And so down here, you can see where precision is precise or moderately precise. We'll have something that clues in for that, even though it may not be exactly that language, but it could be. We'll also have the ability for you to pull up more information about the county that comes from other sources. And we'll have some text that will describe sort of the differences. In this case, the Park County example that I've shown, again with mock data, we've pulled up here data from American Community Survey to help you understand the results. This is modeling what a user could do. The user could select variables. See at the bottom it says change variables. You'd be able to pick from a menu of preset variables. In this case, it's the race, ethnicity, amount of time in the US, And you could pull up perhaps income or some other variable that is of interest to you and be able to see them for the county for which you're also getting the indirect estimates. And you'll be able to compare two counties. Everything that I'm showing, by the way, I'm speaking about in terms of county, could also be done by state. But this side-by-side we have here is taking for example, Park County and Northampton County in Colorado. We have the locations, again, the same sort of 8 estimates, 8 outcomes for proficiency level and average. And then we would have a sort of a summary text here you see in the ubiquitous Latin, that is the filler in when you don't know exactly what's going to be said, but it would be auto-generated text for each one of the results so that we could have it for all of them, just to clue people in who have difficulty reading the table, given that we know that literacy levels across the US are not homogeneous. Upcoming, Cycle 2. We have 33 countries that are participating in the OECD's Cycle 2 of PIAAC. And again, I want to give a call out to William Thorne, who is here in the back of the room and has kindly come all the way from Paris to join us for this meeting. He is leading up the PIAAC and led it through Cycle 1 and will be leading Cycle 2. We will have the same domains of literacy and numeracy, but in addition, adaptive problem solving will be the newest domain, replacing problem solving in technology-rich environments. The data collection will be field tested in 2020, and the main study is scheduled to be begin in 2021. Just as in Cycle 1, it will last several months, August to March in the United States, and that we will then the US data will then be cleaned, processed, and go into the international report, which is scheduled to be released in the fall of 2023. We will be promoting state participation in PIAAC if we can get it. If anyone knows that their state might be interested or knows someone in their state who would be good to make it aware that states can participate in PIAAC and get a state-specific sample that would allow them to be able to have finer grain data to do analysis for their state. We're hoping that we can entice a few states to join in. With that, we open things to questions.